Good evening. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network presents the DCTV 4-H Evening News Program for October 7th, 2019. Camera person tonight is Tanner. Video and sound engineer and producer is Lynn. Teleprompter and prompter, Myra. And this is the Nolan Show again with news anchor and meteorologist featuring Nolan. And now this your news director, Lynn. And now the news.
Welcome to the DCTV 4-H Evening News Show. Help us keep our news show on the air by becoming a sponsor. You can buy a sponsorship by calling 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Now for the news. Hi, I'm Nolan, and our first story is from the Journal. Durango man to skateboard 800 miles to Southern California. That's a little ways. At dawn Tuesday, while the rest of Durango woke up, a local skateboarder took a backpack full of socks, banana chips, and peanuts and started skating. His destination, Long Beach, California, 800 miles away. Jeff Hot Dog Markman, 34, set wheels to pavement for more than the long-distance skate. He is skateboarding to raise awareness for Durango-born fundraiser Boards for Brazil. Markman and local skateboarder Tim Schaefer, 26, created Boards for Brazil to send fully assembled skateboards to kids in or near Fortaleza, Brazil. The Boards for Brazil fundraiser, created September 15th, has raised $1,425 of its $3,000 goal. For Markman and Schaefer, the fundraiser is a way to give back, to let others know Durango cares, and even to move a step closer to who they want to be. I can't be who I am without... I can't be who I am. I can't be who I want to become unless I do this, Markman said. Markman faces a November 1st deadline, the end of the fundraiser, to reach Southern California, where he grew up. He'll be skating 30 to 50 miles a day for 2 or 3 weeks over mountains and through deserts until he reaches Cherry Skate Park in Long Beach, where he gets there. When he gets there, he's going to post a video showing he made it, then eat a huge meal and go to sleep, Markman said. This story is from the Durango Herald. Nevada fighting to keep zombie deer from entering. We talked about this today in class. Zombie deer may sound like something in a bad B movie, but wildlife regulators say they're real and officials are working to keep them out of Nevada. The term relates to animals that have contracted chronic wasting disease, a highly contagious terminal disorder that causes symptoms such as lack of fear of humans, lethargy, and emaciation, the Las Vegas Sun reported. It can destroy deer and elk populations. Officials are testing dead animals and monitoring migratory elk and deer at the state line with Utah for signs of the sickness, said Peregrine Wolf, a Nevada Department of Wildlife veterinarian. I can't talk today. Nevada legislators also passed a law earlier this year to keep parts of certain carcasses out of the state in an attempt to stop the spread of the disease. States reporting animals with the illness include Kansas, Colorado, and Wyoming. Well, that's not good. The disease is neither viral nor bacterial. Instead, is transmitted by prions, protein particles that have been linked to brain diseases, including mad cow disease in cattle and Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease in humans. Prion diseases damage brain tissue, leading to abnormal behavior and are incurable. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has raised concern that chronic wasting disease may pose a risk to humans. The minimum time between exposure and the first symptoms is thought to be 16 months, according to a study posted to the Center for Food Security and Public Health. The average incubation period is 2 to 4 years. Some studies show that animals are contagious before symptoms start. A 2004 study in the Centers of Disease Control's Emerging Infectious Diseases journal showed 2 captive mule deer populations were infected with the disease in separate paddocks that hadn't had infected animals in them about 2 years. Nevada lawmakers this year banned bringing certain animal body parts into the state, including the brain and the spinal cord that can contain large concentrations of prions. In testimony about the proposed law, Tyler Turnipseed, chief Nevada game warden, posed a scenario where local populations are infected by exposure to butchered waste dumped by a hunter passing through Nevada from another state. This story is from the Durango Herald. The first major cold front of fall is expected to arrive Wednesday in western Colorado, dropping temperatures to 20 degrees below normal through Friday. The front will cool down eastern Utah and western Colorado by Thursday, the National Weather Service said, including single-digit lows in the mountains Friday morning. In addition to the cooler weather, the first significant snow is possible in the high country Wednesday night and Thursday. Oh good, I'm excited. Freezing temperatures and snowfall likely will affect drivers. Thursday morning in high mountain passes, although road temperatures will likely be quite warm in the lower valleys. A freeze warning that was in effect midnight overnight Sunday expired at 9 a.m. Monday in southwest Colorado after hitting a low of 25 degrees in Cortez at 4:53 a.m. and 31 degrees in Durango at 6:28 a.m. The cold front will end the growing season in the western slope, the Weather Service said. Frost and freeze conditions will kill crops, other sensitive vegetation, and possibly damage unprotected outdoor plumbing, the Weather Service said. In Montezuma County, the overnight low Sunday is expected to reach 31 degrees. Sunny skies are forecast for Monday with a high of 69 degrees. The extended forecast for Montezuma and La Plata counties includes overnight lows of 34 degrees on Wednesday, 19 degrees on Thursday, 22 degrees on Friday, and 27 degrees on Saturday. The cold snap this week may fully dress trees in their autumn colors in the San Juan and La Plata Bay Mountains. As of Thursday, the color change at 60% of peak in their La Platas near Mancos, 75 to 85 from Dolores to Rico, and 75 to 85 from Rico to Telluride. This story is from the Cortez Journal. Fort Lewis College announced Friday it will ensure students from working and middle-class families can attend the school tuition-free starting next fall. The FLC Tuition Promise, a new grant program, will serve first-year and enrolled students from families that earn $60,000 or less, said Michelle Peterson, Associate Vice Principal of Finance and Administration. The grant program is intended to fill in any financial gaps left after a student receives federal Pell Grants, state financial aid, and other scholarships. School officials said Friday during a Board of Trustees meeting. The biggest concern that students have today is over the cost of education, and I think it's not just here. It's a national concern, said Provost Cheryl Nixon. The new assistant program is meant to address concerns about cost and fear of debt, and help potential students consider more than the price of school when making a decision about higher education, she said. We want to make sure that we have a wide open door to students, she said. The program is also expected to help more first-generation students from diverse backgrounds attend FLC, she said. Students with the most financial need can qualify for federal Pell Grants that provide up to $66,195 in annual tuition assistance. But the maximum amount of Pell Grant assistance available does not cover FLC's annual tuition of $7,056. The tuition assistance also does not apply to the FLC student fees, which are about $1,800 a year. The school expects about 300 students, about 10% of its student body, will qualify for the additional tuition assistance, Peterson said. The school expects to spend about $50,000 a year on the new aid program from its general fund, she said. Students will not have to apply for the grant program separately from other financial aid programs. Weird news. So today we were unable to find the website for our customary Dumb Law segment, and we opted for this weird news story. Painting so Picasso hogs on the lime line at South Africa farm. Step aside, Francis Bacon. Brandishing a paintbrush in her snout, Pigcasso. Oh, it's a pig. Enthusiastically tosses her head to create bright, bold strokes across the canvas, propped up in her sty. Aww. The sow was rescued from an abattoir as a piglet and brought to an animal sanctuary in Franschhoek in South Africa's Western Cape region in 2016, where her new owners pigs are very smart animals, and so when I brought Picasso here to the barn, I thought, how do I keep her entertained? Said Joan Leeson, who runs Farm Sanctuary SA. We threw in some soccer balls, rugby balls, and of course there were some paintbrushes lying around because the barn was newly built. She basically ate or destroyed everything except these paintbrushes. She loved them so much, Leeson added. Soon the pig was dipping the brushes into pots of paint and making her mark. Her paintings can sell for almost $4,000, with the proceeds going to animal welfare. She has even had one of her artworks turned into a watch face for Swiss watchmaker Swatch. Swatch announced a collaboration with the pig last month. The limited edition Flying Pig by Miss Pigcasso features green, blue, and pink brush strokes and sells for $120. Picasso is definitely an abstract expressionist. You can't exactly define what she's painting, but I can tell you that her style slightly changes depending on her mood, like any great artist, said Leeson. And now for our weather report. Our current weather data comes from the DCTV weather station located in beautiful downtown Dove Creek. The current temperature is 67 degrees. Today's high was also 68 degrees. The low was 37 degrees. The barometer is at 30.08 inches and falling. Humidity is at 18%. Wind is between 1 and 7 miles per hour from the west. Gusts have been up to 19 miles per hour. There was 0.07 inch of moisture in the DCTV weather station today. Moisture for the new month is also 0.07 inch. Moisture accumulation for the year is 10.23 inches. And from the National Weather Service, here is the big map. Rain is falling from Washington and Oregon into Montana. Oh my, that skin is pasty white. The center of the country is clear and sunny. More rain and severe thunderstorms begin in Texas and travel northeast through Ohio. East. Out Rhode Island into the Atlantic and cover the south through Florida, so this whole area. From the north side of the rain and thunderstorms, rain continues through the north and east states and Maine. And now for our exclusive DCTV 5-day forecast. Tuesday is mostly sunny with a high of 71 and a low of 42. Wednesday is partly sunny with a high of 70 and a low of 32. Thursday is mostly sunny with a high of 78 and a low of 18. Friday is also sunny with a high of 48 and a low of 23, and Saturday is mostly sunny with a high of 58 and a low of 28. And now for our climate change weather report. CO2 carbon dioxide is considered a greenhouse gas and is one of the principal causes of climate change. CO2 traps heat in the atmosphere, which causes climate instability, and this results in significant variations worldwide of moisture and hot and cold temperatures. But the general climate trend is that the planet is slowly warming. Therefore, it is important that we report the CO2 change. The following are CO2 numbers in parts per million. Last week was 407.96. 2 weeks ago was 408.32. Last year was 405.49. 10 years ago was 382.85. There's an extra number in there, typo. 50 years ago was 322.38. Thanks to Dr. Peter Tanz of the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, and to Michael McGee of the CO2.Earth Network for providing this information. Remember, you can help keep our kids' news show on the air by buying a sponsorship. To become a sponsor, call 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Thank you. Now back to our news director.
And that's it, folks. That's the end of today's DCTV 4-H news program. Good night, and thank you for watching.